In this lesson, we'll start the final process of bringing our data to the iTwin platform through synchronization. After installation, the iTwin synchronizer should be added as a desktop shortcut. It's just a desktop application. We can run it by double-clicking on it or searching it using our Windows search bar. iTwin synchronizer. Open the application, and we should be good to go. When we first start the iTwin synchronizer, it'll ask us for our login. So we'll use the same login as we registered with earlier. This will open up a new browser with some requests for approvals, and all you need to hit is allow. You don't see it on my page because this is bound to the application. So immediately on login, you'll notice that we have to select the project that we just created at the top drop-down menu. It should automatically bind to the first project that it detects when you log in. So here you'll remember the Smart House Digital Twin iModel that we created from the iModels page in iTwinJS.org. That's right here. And you'll also notice that we have a blank page with no connections created for this project yet. So we'll start by creating a new connection. Let's click on new over here. And the connection defines where the source of our local model comes from. So to make the source clear, we'll alias the connection name to house sample. And we'll map this to the empty iModel location we created earlier on iTwinJS.org. We'll need to choose the root directory of wherever our house DGN file is located at. So I am on downloads and design data. I'll select the folder. And finally, we'll need to add the local DGN file to the list right here. So here's my house model. So we'll click on next, and it will automatically start looking for compatible iModel connectors. So these connectors are needed to help the iTwin platform understand how to convert your local DGN file to the cloud-ready format. And if this is your first time running the iTwin synchronizer, it'll prompt you to download these connectors. So let's give this a second. And these are the prompted connectors that will be required in converting our DGN file. We'll hit enable, and it'll just start downloading the required connectors. So we'll let this run for a while until it completes. Once completed, we'll get a message saying all required connectors are enabled. Click Save, and you'll now see that the connection has been formed for this project. At this point, only a connection has been established. Nothing has been synchronized yet. We basically just define an origin to fetch from. So now we'll hit Synchronize, this button right here, and start the process. It remembers your configurations, so we can ignore the file search path. We've already configured this when forming our connection. The iTwin synchronizer makes it easy by remembering the setup, so all you need to do is provide some details. The change comment here is our commit message, so let's leave something memorable, like remember this comment. We'll also create a first named version by clicking on this toggle right here, and we'll name it first named version. We'll leave a description here, something like remember this description. Finally, let's hit the button and finish our synchronization process. At this point, we just let the iTwin synchronizer do its job. The connection will start converting our local house DGN file to our cloud-ready format and finally push this file into the iModel hub. So let's let that go for a while. Synchronization has finally completed. Congratulations. We've just taken the first step in creating a digital twin. The synchronization may have completed with some issues, but this is expected as our local DGN file isn't perfect. We'll ignore these for now and just directly go to the iModel. We're now back on the Connect portal, and you'll notice some new information. We have our labeled first named version and some of the commit messages that we filled out earlier in the synchronizer, the remember this comment. At this point, we've finally accomplished our goal in bringing our local design data to the iTwin platform. This is our digital twin, so let's start viewing our iModel by clicking on View. The portal has a built-in default viewer, so you can go ahead and begin exploring your digital twin immediately. Let's let this load real quick. Select our iModel, the Smart House Digital Twin. Click on Open iModel, and here we have our local design data as a digital twin on the iTwin platform.